It's time for some Nintendo Switch racing. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So we're going to take a close look at a racing wheel I've picked up some time ago. This is the Genesis Seaborg. Comes with colluding and gear stick. It's compatible with all kinds of systems, but we're going to take a close look at the Nintendo Switch part. This is a product that I was really curious about. What is with a Seaborg 350? I personally never heard of it, so I just wanted to check out what I'm actually going to get. So, what is something when it comes to unlicensed or these, like say, different kind of brands? I can tell you, you will be surprised sometimes. So inside the package, we're going to get everything that we're going to need for assembling it on my desk over here. I can already tell you the pedals look kind of basic. Later on, let's take a close look at it, how the quality is, and do we have any difference when it comes to the springs. In here, we're going to get ourselves the bracket, and this thing is fully made of plastic and is also very huge, and the racing wheel itself. Okay, so what are we going to get? So this bracket is similar to the one from the big deluxe Hori wheel. So the next thing I wanted to check out with you guys is the pedals. And the pedal is not going to put to the metal because this thing is fully made out of plastic. Yeah, so that's actually what we're going to get. It's a very basic back to the 90s racing wheel. And the springs are unfortunate the same. Yeah, they're absolutely the same. A little bit of bummer. So it's the same when it comes to the cheap Mario racing wheel. But there's a little bit better quality. And the nut and the bolt, everything is basically made out of plastic. It's not like this cheap plastic. It feels quite durable. I will not put too much tension on it, but the mechanism is basic. But I can tell you already, it's going to be working just fine. But let's take a close look at the wheel itself. Because the wheel, I really love the design of it. The design does get myself what like a racing, let's say a supercar racing wheel feel to it. And when unboxing it together with you guys, I realized this thing is kind of cool. Especially when you're looking at the design of the racing wheel and the base itself. I really like this thing. It looks kind of cool. It also comes with this carbon sticker. It's of course not a real carbon. But yeah, this looks kind of sweet, to be honest. So also when it comes to the shifters, this looks very nice. So they did an amazing job when it comes to the design. And it does have like a very clicky, very loud micro switch underneath. It's a combination of plastic wheel and plastic fantastic with rubberized on the side where you're going to be holding your hands. Not a big fan of the rubberized stuff because it can get sticky over the years. There is no button in the middle, so that we have seen with a couple of racing wheels in the past. The micro switch joysticks and also the ABXY is kind of interesting. It's a strange choice, it's very comfortable, but it's a little bit bummer because it's very difficult to choose your gains. What I did like about this wheel, that we have some extra LB buttons, so if you need to have acceleration brake on the wheel itself, it works very well. But also at the back, that is something I've never seen before. We're going to get ourselves the RT and the LT function. That's sweet. It makes it really convenient to race. Also the wheel comes including vibration motor. It's going to be some retro vibration, but it is giving you a completely different experience. But then, if you're looking at the spring, it doesn't get like a massive tension. Let's try some games and let's see how is the compatibility with this particular racing wheel. But before we're going to do and play some games on the Switch, the first thing that we need to do is getting into the Pro Controller mode enabled. Going to the system settings, there we will find the controls, all the way down, there we go, controllers and sensors. There we need to select this option and go to the Pro Controller wired communication and set this one on. If you've done this, then your controller will work, or in this case the racing wheel. If you don't do this, you will not have a properly working wheel. But let's boot it up, and the first thing I'm noticing is that the controller works absolutely great, or in this case the racing wheel. When it comes to Mario, I already tested a couple of racing wheels. I've noticed this is absolutely a fun way to play, and the responsiveness of the wheel is absolutely cool. Including the pedals, they also work fine. The next game is the WRC8. This is a very cool racing and rally game. I've mapped the shifting to the gear like it's supposed to be, but I can tell you we're still having a dead zone. It's better than the previous wheels, but we still have this similar issue. That is quite unfortunate because it makes the game very difficult to control the car. And with a rally game, it's always very difficult. And combined with the dead zone, oh man, it's absolutely ultra hardcore mode here.
Left 5 in the distance, reach over crest. And right 5 into left 3, don't cut. And flat left over crest. Into right 6, tightens 4, 30.
Woohoo! Okay, so when it comes to the shifters on the racing wheel, I wanted to do this, and it makes it so much more convenient to play. But the weird thing, it has been mapped to A and B. But also A and B are the pedals for accelerating, so it's completely messed up. Wreckfest is one of my favorite games to play when it comes to destruction derby racing games. But the dead zone in combination with the way how you control the vehicle, it's going to be quite difficult. Another downside is the pedals don't work so far I have seen, so you need to use the buttons on the wheels. This is not really like the most convenient way to play. With Team Crash Racing we have a different situation. The power up and the acceleration has been set to the pedals, but also to the shifters on the wheel. But it doesn't matter, this game doesn't have a lot of, or not at all, when it comes to the dead zone. And I have this feeling that this game is very responsive and a lot of fun to play. So for me, the CTR or Crash Team Racing is one of the favorite games to actually play with this wheel. Combined with the vibration motor, it is so much fun and so much cooler than the original licensed ones. Sonic Racing is absolutely one huge mess, so we need to get into the menu itself and we're going to set it to the preset B, if I'm saying it correctly, or type B. And with this we do have acceleration when it comes to the gas pedal and we can actually play it. But the other thing I've noticed, there is such a huge dead zone with the wheel and the game. Look at this, like it makes it really unplayable when it comes to the game. Quite unfortunate because Sonic Racing is such a cool game to play. And don't forget, we have this mode that we can do tricks, we cannot even do that. So this game is in my opinion not really compatible with a racing wheel at all. But I still wanted to try it. The Genesis Seaborg 350. I am really surprised by this racing wheel. For the Switch, compared with the official licensed one, this one is so much better in many different ways. Particularly when you're just plugging into Mario and Crash Team Racing, I really enjoyed myself. I want to thank you all for watching, consider subscribing, hit that little bell, and it will be great to just see you in the next video.